Let's introduce you to these band of goons. Some new names here too. We got Sarinis here as a red pala. We got Grizzle just bouncing around as a feral. I love that challenge mode skin. We got Kirsten changing up his mog a little bit. Are you playing different spec too, or are you just Assass for like the rest of the night? Mattol playing that Fury with big old rocking axes and whoa, we missed one. Rebirth. Okay, now let's take you guys through a fucking time warp. We got Hypnosis playing that destruction or destruction a little bit more. One going back as that affliction again, and we got Assassination Dan and Inflectual crying in the corner. He doesn't like paladins, I think, or something. And we also got Ignore going up first versus Rebirth, Frost Death Knight versus Assassination Rogue. We all expect how this one is gonna go, but you know what? I believe in Rebirth. It's gonna give Rebirth to the Frost Death Knight, man. I believe. Let me try Demo and Warlock. You guys are more than welcome to play whatever spec you wanna. But yeah, if you want to play specs that are generally not good, that's always more fun to watch. Ignore is gonna get stunned up. Rebirth is trying to get a setup going. Gonna be a shortest shooting shot ever. That's gonna be real tricky. Quite a bit of damage from a full, not even a vendetta. Ignore just got some big procs happening as Rebirth does have the big damage going. Is gonna get the death pack rolling a little bit early. Ignore is gonna use that plume from King's Res dungeon from the last boss with a vendetta. By blinding Rebirth, he does reset all these dots. So that does mean he needs to get a full reset all over again. But he decided, you know what, it's worth it. Open up with a cheap shot, actually keeping himself in a really bad situation. Might have to go evasion a little bit early. It could be anyone's game right now. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna die? Rebirth has a cheat death rolling, and Rebirth just got the big consistent damage over and over and over. One, though, is gonna have to ruin Rebirth's go. He actually, like, Ignore just needed to get that evasion a little bit early. When you pop the vendetta, don't blind, unless, like, you have to. And Rebirth is going to try to see if he can get a little bit of healing from one right now. Just try to generate a little bit of running power and try to see if he get those death strikes rolling. Is going to get some resources rolling too with the Pillar of Frost. But that's going to be a response by one. Going to stack a couple of UAs. Not going to happen with that AMS rolling. He's still taking quite a bit of damage with that AMS. But one is still going to try to see if he can line up. Maybe get Sphere Chain Spam going. Also Rebirth. He does land it. That's going to be an interrupt onto one right now. Rebirth just has only a little bit of health left before it's over. One is going to get a little bit of a drain life in there. See if he can get something going. He is using a trigger from COS to keep silencing him over and over. But that trick, it still does like 20k damage. 20k instant cast for a silence that can proc over and over. Yes, please. Next up is going to be Sarinis, though, as a red pally versus one with a fear spam coming out of the bat. It's actually going to trinket that fear. No, that's not what you need to do. Going to be another trinket for one right now with a bit of damage. Horror and Sarinis away. Try to see if you're going to CC him a little bit. Wow, no, he's actually not going to go for CC. He's actually going to go for big damage right now. Huge damage. Going for full setup with wall. That's going to be Shield of Vengeance up right now. One is going to get the Reflect rolling. Does fear out Sarinis away. If he can break that Shield of Vengeance a little bit early, he does. And lands even a stun. Sarinis might have to bubble this right now. Fear to fall again with Drain Life as one. Actually is so behind on health. Might have to find a way to deal with Sarinis right now. Doesn't have access to his Warlock port anymore. Does get the Pet CC though to keep himself a little bit of that crowd control back to back. Getting those dots up and running on Sarinis though. And Drain Life is going to use it for as long as he can, just to get as much healing as he can from Sarinis in a Death Coil as well. Not a Death Coil, Death Bolt. And Sarinis is going to try to see if he can catch up. That's going to be slowed by the pet. That's exactly what he needs. Every time Sarinis got a horse, unless he got that Hand of Freedom, he's going to be able to get it slowed by the pet. As long as the pet has a slow available at all times, it should be good to go. Why does his walk kind of match the song? I gotta say, that his walk matches the song a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh my god, let's go this song instead. Haven't heard this one in a while. Cartoons, or Cartoon. See you again. Sarinis, just making sure he's fully topped off. He's looking for a full setup here. That's gonna be a reflect on that Hodge. One, perfectly waiting for that one. Forcing a bubble out of Sarinis. That's gonna be big. Warlock gateway across Africa. Sarinis is trying to maximize the use. Boy, you might just have to wait for the next set of wings and try to see if you can get another Hodge up to one. That was insane. That was such a good reflect. Sarinis is going to be behind a little bit, and one knows this. He's actually pushing up on him, trying to make sure he has dots rolling if he can get that drain life going. If you get a couple of UAs rolling too on Sarinis just to put damage on him, that'll be good. Using that Warlock ability, Warlock Succubus CC a little bit early with the UA. Shadow Fury onto Sarinis. Needs to get a couple of UAs in there with dots rolling. Actually has full haze buffs with Dark Soul right now. So Sarinis is going to take quite a bit of damage right now unless he has a way to heal. And that's not going to be an intro pet for one. Going to land the drain life in there to keep Sarinis' health low. He can't bop. He can't bubble anymore. Oh, he can bop, but like it's not gonna do anything. No reflect for one this time. Can Sarinis go uncap his damage? He might just have to go out just this once. Tyrion, I'm sorry, but I might just have to go all out. Just this one's gonna be a Shield of Vengeance, proccing onto one, splitting between the pet, gonna trick it out of the fear into a horror effect immediately. Dark Glare is still blasting him as much as he can. Is gonna get a full drain left rolling. Bomb coming down, gonna suppress some of the damage from the pet, some of the melee damage. One is gonna get the reflect rolling, cannot be interrupted at all. That's gonna be a couple of UAs on the Sarinis. Needs to get a lot of health back, deciding whether he wants to run at one or just heal and retreat. That's a lot of dots still rolling. Is gonna get a Hodge onto the pet actually. Actually uses Hammer of Justice onto the pet. One doesn't have a lot of health to really work with. Letting the dots just rot Sarinis out. Does he have the mana for this? Does get a Belf rolling. Still judgmenting the pet as much as he can to try to see if he can get another Flash of Light in there. Still decent Flash of Lights. They're empowered. They're really doing really well. One needs to get some healing though. I guess this Paladin, this is really rough. Waiting for the reflect, and Sarinis actually looking like he's gonna get a full setup. I guess Dampening is getting pretty up there, boys. I guess this is what we're gonna see with an Affliction Warlock. They just don't have the quite the burst of damage. Even Demonology like is damage over time, but it just, man, Blizzard needs to do something to Affliction Warlocks, I swear. Is that gonna be a Hodge out of Sarinis? Not gonna see a reflect out of one just yet. Gonna get the Haunt, is gonna get that Stable Affliction, and that's gonna be another Hodge. Sarinis should have seen it from a mile away. He saw one glowing green like Shrek. And that's going to be Fear to follow with Drain Life, doing bit of damage, another Stable Affliction onto Sarinis. I think he's just done. I think Smet is just sitting down. He's out of everything. He's out of options. Like with that Hodge, it was over. Decided, you know what, maybe I might be able to do something. Shield of Vengeance is still available. More UAs to get it stacked up by one. Doesn't have a way to interrupt Sarinis, but he does have fears to stagger his cast little by little. Dots are rolling. Sarinis is trying to get a Flash of Light. Not like it's going to do anything for him. It's going to be a big port for one. Down he goes. Took so long just to make it happen. But next up is going to be Mattol right up next. Is one going to be able to do anything about this? Horror effect coming out a little bit early. Going to be able to silence himself before. Oh, still going to be interrupted out of the warrior. The one has big haste rolling on himself right now. Walling this damage, trying to get those UAs into Mattol. Does he have a reflect for this one? No, just going to land a fear on one instead to see if he can get a charge in. Doesn't have quite the healing that like a paladin does, so he does need to get in combat in order to get any kind of healing. Going to be a fear and a bunch of UAs stacked up on him off the bat. Oh, no, I can't do this song. Oh my goodness. YouTube, please. I can't do those songs. That's copyrighted, man. Oh, that's a beautiful song. One. Has a bit of an edge onto Mattol, actually. Mattol is going to be able to heal from the pet. I guess the dampening is starting to sink in a little bit early. Mattol does have his one massive heal if he ever needs to get the big charge. Does land the charge into a horror effect as one is just going to kite him around for a little bit. That's going to be his big heal. He's going to use it off of the succubus for a bit. Is that Maledict? Well, but one looks like the Risen is going to go for that Shadow Fury right now onto Mattol. And Mattol is going to try to stun back-to-back Maledict onto one. Is going to get a reflect, actually. And it looks like Mattol just healed through that Maledict immediately off of the pet while he had it. Gonna be a fear around the corner. Does go for a charge. Not gonna happen. Does break out with a Zerka's Rage. Is trying to do some damage to the pet. It's gonna be one actually extending all his dots with a Dark Glare. And that's gonna be, oh, warrior that almost made it. Next is going to be Grizzle. Try to see if he can make those dots work for him better than what one got. He should be able to cleanse the Curse of Agony. That's going to be the big dot. If he can just cleanse that on cooldown, that actually might put one back. 90% dampening. We're going to see a fourth man in Team Red running at one. That's actually doing quite a bit of kiting. That pet doing quite a bit of work. Grizzle is going to be forced to actually power shift out of his forms. Often it's a bit of lag right now with a fear to follow. Looks like the fear breaks pretty quickly. And one does get some damage rolling on Grizzle. Second a wall, exhausting all of his defenses very quickly. Does one have any more mobility? Is going to try to see if he can land a fear onto Grizzle. Going to be very DR'd. Capping a couple of those UAs in there. Grizzle does go for the big incarnation. Try to see if he can all in this Warlock right now. Going to be a reflect onto the Mattol. The Grizzle might have put himself in a bad situation. Once health is still in a critical condition as a Classy, but Grizzle doesn't have any health. With Drain left to follow, down he goes. And Kirsten is going to be the last person standing versus one. We'll try to let us out, but that's going to be dots on him. Does he go for the big pet CC? Trick is that immediately. Does one have anything at all though? Looks like that's going to be the end to this Warlock after 4 people that he was able to obliterate as an affliction, whittling them down. Down goes our champion, 1. And Kirsten takes out 1 Warlock. Does use a trinket for it though. Probably shouldn't have. Because now it's going to be another Warlock, a worse Warlock to deal with for Rogue. A Destruction Warlock with massive chaos bolts. Affliction at least just whittles you down and tickles you to death. You can see that damage from a while. Hypnosis though, those chaos bolts, you can't really heal those as easily. That's going to be a big CC chain. Hypnosis could go for big damage. He's actually just going to unload everything. He's just going to uncap himself and just go all out. Trinkets out of it with wall and everything. Horror onto Kirsten. Needs to get those chaos bolts back to back in there. Kirsten has Vanish. Actually lands on Vanish right before the chaos bolt left Hypnosis' hands. All Hypnosis can do right now is try to see if he can get some AoE onto Kirsten. Needs to find a way him out right now. Because Kirsten can just wait. Hypnosis needs to go for the eyes. He needs to do this. He needs to. He can't be wasting any time because Kirsten is just hanging out, waiting for him. He's going to wait it on Furl completely. Oh my goodness. I was close to being able to call. That was so clutch, Del Potato. That was so close, man. That's going to be Infernal coming down for Hypnosis with a pet CC, though. Onto Kirsten. Try to see if he can land a stun. Not going to happen. This is going to be a kidney shot. And Hypnosis is actually going to take quite a bit of damage. If Kirsten can wait for... He does have a full Vendetta. So Kirsten, I think, is just going to wait for the full Vendetta. Going to be a Aura Effect into a Chaos Bolt. And that's going to become flag to keep him in place. Look at that. Just you lost so much health. You had such a nice opener to Hypnosis just to get him as low as almost 50% health. Oh, wait. Somehow he's actually even less. Somehow he's even less health. He has like 50% now. He was like 60 or so. He just went down out of nowhere. Was it like a Heed My Call or something? No idea, actually. But this sacrificed his own health to get a shield. How does that work anymore? It looked like he... Maybe he didn't... Weird. Anyway. When I saw him use the shield, I don't see a lot of Warlocks use that shield anymore, but he used that shield next to wall. It looked like a portion of his health just disappeared. And I'm like, this... Because I know that you could actually use that shield to sacrifice your own health to make a small shield. Just like give up some health to get a bigger shield. Is Hypnosis actually going to die to the dots? I'm just talking here at this point, and it looks like Hypnosis just might die to the dots. So an Assassination Rogue does nab the Drain Life and does refresh it as the Smoke Bomb comes down for Kirsten. He just needs a little bit more damage. Pet CC is not going to keep him out there. Barely any health left for Hypnosis. Just actually kills him. Couple knife throws and there we go. That's all it took. Who's next? Is it Voldan? I think it is Voldan. I think it is Voldan. Is it? Oh, it is. Okay. Imagine duel without a pillar. Dude, so many classes that have to pillar hump, they'll be dead. It'll just be like Warlocks everywhere. I think it will literally just be Warlocks. We would only see Warlocks everywhere. Because Monks would be gone. Demon Hunters will be gone. Pharaohs will be gone. It'd just be Warlocks. Voldan does trick it out of that sap immediately, though. Does he Moonfire Kirsten? I think he might have done that. Thorns are up. Kirsten doesn't have a lot to work with. Does get the evasion rolling. Try to dodge Voldan. Needs to be facing him if he wants to make that work. Mattol got the Voldan, but Kirsten does have a couple bleeds rolling though. Needs to catch a reset. And Voldan looking to finish him off. Does he get the opener? Almost got the rake opener off. Looks like Kirsten actually got himself a reset for a second. What was that? And Voldan is just going for the BM. What is this BM? He is BMing! Voldan! Are you serious? You're actually BMing Kirsten. Why? I think they know each other at this point. I think they know each other. Good idea. Let someone duel in Gurubashi. Oh, that'd be insane. Having some duels in Gurubashi. That'd be incredible. I wouldn't be against it, but that would be insane. Or was that the image you got? Is the duel over? Are we done? Okay, we're done. I had no idea, honestly, boys. I was checking Discord real quick. Good idea. Let's see what duels in Gurubashi. That would actually be kind of cool, Kaiser. We should take a trip on EU or NA to Gurubashi to see how that would work. Duels without any help.